All right, everybody, welcome back to the bench. So today we're going to talk about the Brownells 20-inch that I put together. Brownells did send out the barrel and a couple of other things for us to review. But the cool part about this, and what I think is pretty awesome, is if you go to Brownells right now, you can just pick up their 20-inch upper receivers. You don't even have to build them anymore. You can just kind of slap one together with their 20-inch uppers. But go head on over to Brownells. If you're watching this, I believe their Black Friday code is good all throughout the weekend. And I think they're even going to have some Cyber Monday deals. So if you guys want to go check out Brownells, by all means, go head on over there. And I believe code BF15 will normally work for you. If not, use code TRIGGERED or BOP10 to save you 10% off your order. But right now, on Black Friday, if you buy this stuff, it is a little bit more off. I think it's 15% for BF15. So there we go. I am going to go tip to butt on what this is, and then I'm going to go into my shooting experience, and we're going to have some fun, and then I'll tell you guys how I built it out together. But there is one part of this that you cannot buy right now, which suddenly saddens me to no end. Forward control designs, flash hider. This is a chemo flash hider. I like these flash hiders. They're really nice. The brakes are really good too. I do have a couple of single port brakes, and then I have these flash hiders. They're just amazing. I've had this thing for a while. I decided to slap it on here, and as you can tell, it's been run pretty heavily suppressed. So that's really nice about this 20-inch upper is it shoots wonderfully suppressed. I've heard people talk about how hard 20-inch uppers are to run suppressed. I've never had that issue. And this wasn't super gassy to the face. I was getting some gas to the face as a lefty, but not super gassy. And if you're shooting it righty, there was no gas to your face whatsoever. The only way I was getting gas to my face was through the port. So that's one of those things. And then let's go ahead and check this out. This is one of the cooler parts of this. This is a 5.56 chamber. NATO manufacturer is, I think that's Brownell's cage code. I'm almost 100% sure. It is microparticle inspected, and it does have a chrome bore. So this is a chrome lined barrel, which I think is really cool. Now I don't know if the chamber is chrome lined, but there are a lot of companies out there that don't chrome line their chamber. So if this one is not, if the chamber for the 5.56 isn't chrome lined, I apologize. I know there may be some people out there who really want to know about that. The front sight post is actually really cool too. I don't think it's F marked because I do believe this is supposed to be going with a carry handle upper, but who shoots iron sights anyway? This is a government profile barrel, so let me zoom you out here real quick. Government profile barrel meaning it kind of starts a little bit bigger up here and then it kind of tapers down. They do make these in a SOCOM profile also, so if you want to build it with a SOCOM profile for all you weirdos who live in states that have to require SOCOM profiles, Brownells does sell these barrels with the SOCOM profile, so you can get the heavy profile that you really want. But I like the government profile. I really wish it was a pencil barrel, but Brownell's pencil barrels, they're only on a 1 in 12 twist right now, and I like to shoot 1 in 7 twist because I like to shoot a whole bunch of different ammo. But if you're just going to run some 55 grain through it, go get those 1 in 12 twists. Some 55 grain, 45 grain, those that light stuff. The 1 in 12 twist barrels like that stuff more, but the 1 in 7 twist handles the heavier stuff a lot better. There is a little bit of surface rusting on here. I'm going to have to knock some of that off and do whatever. I never lubricated this barrel, so I will probably end up just spraying some rem oil on a rag and wiping it down just to make sure that there is no rusting that happens in the future. But I did take this out in the rain a couple of times and do some things, and if that's all the rust that's on there, then I'm not super upset about that. But make sure you take care of guns; they'll take care of you. And then I went with a Geisley OD Green upper receiver. I'm going to move this right here. I did go with the Geisley OD Green upper receiver. It's really cool. It does have the T markings on the top, and then it's just a standard thing. Oh, and then this thing does come with a Delta Ring assembly. So if you're wondering about the barrel, it does come with a Delta Ring assembly. So I did go with the Geisley OD Green. I just had this laying around. It's a really, really good upper receiver, and I really like it, and it just works, and I've never had an issue with it. Now, as you guys can see here, this is just a plain old, Jane old Brownell's phosphate bolt care group. I like these phosphate ones more than I like the nitrided ones, or not the nitrided ones, the melanite ones, I guess. But yeah, this phosphate coated one, just really nice little bolt care group that Brownells has. It's very dirty because I did run it suppressed a lot. And then I went ahead with the PRI Ambi Gas Buster charging handle. This is a great charging handle. I highly recommend if you guys are out there and you're looking for a charging handle, this is a good one. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, I probably wouldn't buy another one of these knowing that the BCM Mark II is out there on the market. I've been enjoying that charging handle a lot more than I've been enjoying this charging handle. The resistance of this build. A lot of people are going to be upset with me. I did end up getting one of the Brownells Knights M5 RAS rails. Now, it was known as the Brownells Rail Attachment System M5. from what it was on their website, and then they got rid of it out of nowhere. I thought these were going to be like a mainstay of there, and they were gone. They were just gone. I don't know why they just decided to disappear them all, but they did. And that's kind of one of the crappy things about this build is the Knights, or the Brownells version of the Knights system is no longer available. I don't know if Knights got upset. I don't know what ended up happening. I have been told that there is a huge probability that these are coming back, but I'm not 100% certain, and nobody has told me anything concrete. So if you must get a Knights M5 RAS for your 20-inch build, which to be honest, you should probably have a Knights M5 RAS or a variant of the knockoffs of them, by all means. I mean, there's probably plenty of Chinese companies that make, a knockoff of this too. But the cool part is it comes with all the heat shielding on the inside. So it does have that little inside heat shielding thing. There is what looks like a cage code here. I don't know whose cage code that is. I have never bothered to look it up. I do know that Brownell's website did state that on there, and it was really cool. They stated like where these rails came from, and I never even bothered to care enough. I mean, these could have come from Timbuktu, made by a man in a sweatshop, and I mean, I probably would have bought it because it's like a half the price of an actual Knights rail. I think when I bought this, I think I paid $160 for it. Actually, Brownell sent it out, but I think I would have paid $160 for it when I bought it. So that's one of the downsides of this build. I got this. It looks all like an actual Knights rail. It has the top markings, the side markings, all the Picatinny. It comes with all the covers that you'll need. It does all the fun stuff that everything is supposed to do, but the crappy part is you can't get these right now, which is one of the reasons why I did not want to talk about this build, because a lot of people are like, oh man, when are you going to do the 20-inch? When are you going to do the 20-inch? The crappy part is that Brownells kind of got rid of the handguard. That was kind of the reason why I decided to build the 20-inch anyway. So that's kind of the crappy part. I'm not knocking or dogging on Brownells for any reason. They had to probably make a financial decision. I understand that, but it does suck because there were a lot of people who really wanted this to be a thing, and it wasn't a thing. It ended up not being a thing, and that's kind of the crappy part about this. I want them to come back. I know that there are a lot of people at Brownells trying to make that happen, but I don't know if it will. So if you can't get one of these, there are a lot of other places online where you more than willingly can, but the moment these come back in stock at Brownells, I promise you guys, I will let you know. I do know that I've seen pictures of Brownells sending out some promotional material that did have these Knights M5 RAS rails coming. The problem is, every time I've tried to ask about it, I have been told that it's kind of something they can't talk about right now. So I'm not even in the Cool Enough Kids Club to know if they're coming back or not. And again, I don't know if there's like some sort of lawsuit or something going on where we're not allowed to know, but these Knights M5 RAS rails should definitely come back to Brownells, whether they're the original Knights or whatever these ones are. I believe these are made by another company that makes Knights stuff. And I don't know. It sucks that they're not there. But I have seen some promotional materials of when they do talk about these 20 inches here in a second, where these were attached on those 20-inch uppers that they're going to be selling. So maybe keep an eye out, keep a lookout. And if these do come back in time for Black Friday or Cyber Monday or anything like that, I promise you guys, I will let you know as soon as possible. I will put that up in my story, hoodlum_actual on Instagram, and the same on Twitter. I will put them both up in both those places so you guys can check that stuff out. And altogether, this upper receiver is 4 pounds, 9.8 ounces. So I believe that's almost as heavy as my Knights SOCOM Profile 14.5. So it's actually a pretty good little upper receiver, and it's not insanely heavy. All right, so I think this is a pretty legit looking upper receiver. I will say I do want to get a different optic for this. I just think that the patrol rifle optic is just such a big optic. It's so clunky and huge. Like, it's just not my cup of tea, but I know that there are a lot of people out there who love it. And I'm running the 193 SKD spacer on there, but with the optic and all that, I mean, this does kind of make for a bit of a heavier upper receiver. Now, granted, I do believe this kind of weighs in the same tier as my SOCOM Profile M4 upper that I had for a while, the FN M4 military collector upper receiver, or the whole entire thing. But I didn't necessarily love that gun as much as I wanted to. It brought back a lot of nostalgia, but it wasn't like one that I probably would have picked up. I have a couple of other guns. My URGI is, I mean, it's so much better than that. So we will talk about the URGI, especially in the future. But with this, I love this part of the nostalgia. It's a good upper receiver. This is something that has definitely been really good. I was hitting these 4.5-inch steel plates at like 60 yards, no problem. So I know this gun is insanely accurate. And I was doing that with M193, with PMC Bronze, 223. I was doing it with different styles of 223. Like I was having a ton of fun with this gun, and it's still a fun gun to shoot. But I will definitely be getting a lighter optic for this thing because, well, let's go ahead and state the optic itself is pretty chunky, and I'll probably throw in the weight of that here in just a little bit, but it's a pretty heavy little optic for what it is. The patrol rifle optic with that QRP mount, that QRP2 mount is just insane because that giant knob that sticks out there on the other end. The shootability of this thing has been fantastic. I think almost every round of this has been run suppressed. It is fantastic. There's no issues. I was running it with a Dead Air Sandman K. I wasn't running with anything longer. K cans are the life. I run K cans on anything from a 10.3 to a 20-inch. They're just amazing. I'll run a K can on anything. I don't need maximum suppression, just enough to take the edge off, especially with 5.56. It's never going to be quiet. So don't ever act like you're out there and you're like, ooh, K cans are garbage. No, they work. They work really well. And a lot of people just don't understand the thought behind it. And for people like me who really like K cans, it definitely does the trick. Now, I have the Lahar 30K in jail right now. It's sitting in ATF prison because I haven't been blessed enough by them to, they don't care about us. So it's going to take a few more months for that to happen. And in the meantime, we'll just be messing around with the Dead Air Sandman S. That is my friend's. He comes out, he lets me shoot it. He's also my cameraman. So huge shout out to my buddy Chris. I didn't go over the light setup. It's just a Malkoff light with a Surefire body, Malkoff head, E2XT. I just love Malkoff stuff. I put the Cloud on here, the LCS, because I'm running the standard Surefire switch. And there's no really good Picatinny mounts for these old style Surefire switches other than, strapping them down. The Cloud LCS definitely works, but it's ungodly expensive for what it is. It's two little pieces of aluminum with a little plate that sits there. And it feels like it's way overpriced for what it is. And then, just a cool little cutie mount right there. So if you're out there and you guys want to build one of these Brownells, the cool part about them is they have an amazing amount of these on sale right now. I have not been able to get this out to accuracy test it. I don't know if I've already stated that in this video or not, but I have not been able to get out and accuracy test it. I've got a ton of ammunition that I have just chilling here that I want to go shoot through this gun. We have some 69 grain AAC hollow point void tail. We have some 77 grain TMKs. I think I've only got 10 rounds of this left, but I want to put the TMKs through here. I have some 77 grain OTM stuff right here, and then I think I have some, nope, yeah, that's it. So that's the stuff that I want to put through here. I want to grab some more of that. And then I want to grab their black line, the AAC black line, because that one has been pretty good. And then this stuff, the 69 grain Sierra Match King. This stuff is really good. If you guys are out there and you're looking for a really good 69 grain load, this stuff has performed exceptionally well in a lot of different guns. In fact, I think it almost outperforms a lot of 77 grain loads. In terms of accuracy. In terms of kinetic energy on target, I think you might get a little bit more with 77 grain, but this stuff is very good. It's very accurate in a lot. And I do want to get this out to do some accuracy testing with it. I promise I will do that, but it's going to take me some time because the 100-yard range where I go is always full and there's always a line, and I always try to go there just to go get some stuff done on a Monday, and I can't because everyone and their mom wants to be there, and I don't necessarily love it. But when I do get that chance, I will make a video dedicating the Brownells 20-inch upper receiver, and we'll see exactly how accurate the gun is, because that's really the only downside to this review, because we don't have an accuracy. I hope this really fits into your stuff. If you guys are honestly interested in building a 20-inch or getting a 20-inch or anything like that, there are a ton of companies out there that have really good 20-inch guns, but Brownells makes them pretty inexpensive, and they even have their 20-inch guns that are they're pre-assembled right now. So if you want to go pick one up, they're just an amazing company. They support us and they're awesome. So thank you to Brownells for sending this out. As I said, I was running the Super 42 Geisley H2 spring combo with just on a standard carbine tube, and then I ran it with the A5 system with the A5-2 and the Super 42 braided wire spring for the A5 system, and then I ran just a regular Springco green spring with the A5 system, both of which kind of felt like I was getting more recoil out of it, other than the H2 with the Super 42 spring and a carbine setup. I don't know how that was even possible, but I will tell you there wasn't a ton of recoil to begin with this gun. It's a 20-inch, it shoots really soft, and it runs really well suppressed. As always, I hope you guys enjoy this. Thank you so much for everything. Be a hoodlum.
Stand by.
Standing. Fucking fuck.
Slow shit.